Hello, welcome back to Defy Aging, and we are now in week number 6. I'm Coach Allison to run through everything with you so you know what to expect when you get to the gym for the week. So this week, the workout is going to be broken up into kind of 2 different sections. The first section is going to be an in your own space routine. So you're going to claim a little bit of floor space and just hunker down there for a little bit. There's going to be 3 exercises involved in that, and they're all lower body. So we are kind of splitting lower and upper body this week. So all lower body focused. And they're going to go through 4 rounds of that for 30 seconds on, 40 seconds off. Lower body things can tend to be a little more aerobic sometimes. So that's why we're giving it a little more rest time to recover, 30 on, 40 off. After those 3 rounds are completed, we're going to go through a rotation normal circuit on the turf where you will be moving around in that circle to different stations. That is 5 stations, and we're flipping the time. We're going to work more, rest less. So for these stations, it'll be 40 seconds on, 30 seconds off. And this is only going to be 3 rounds. So yes, we are different amount of rounds, different times. We're kind of bouncing all over the place this week, but it'll end up being full body in the end. And of course, we have our little team builder to wrap things up. But let's go through some demonstrations. All right, exercise 1 for the in your own space routine is going to be, again, remember everything in this in your own space section of the workout is going to be lower body focus. So we're starting with a goblet squat. So we hold our kettlebell up at our chest. You can hold it at the base of the handles like that. It's called by the horns. Or we can kind of hold more of like the bell and I like to sort of wrap my thumb and pointer finger around the base of the handle there. Whatever's comfortable. I personally like this the best because you don't really have to grip anything. It kind of just rests in your hands. Okay, so we're going to hold it at chest height. So we're not letting it fall down here. We're not shrugging to hold it either. So just shoulders down, hold it at chest. Normal squat. So feet are hip width apart. Just sink those hips down and back like you're sitting back in an imaginary chair. Remember, squat isn't like this. Okay, we pop the hips back. And it's important at the bottom of your squat, you don't let the arms and the kettlebell kind of fall. It's going to want to because it engages more abs and more shoulder to keep the weight here. But that's what we want to do. So exercise 1, goblet squat. Okay, exercise 2 is going to be a hip thrust. I think we had these a couple of weeks ago. All right, so lying on your back, feet on the floor, knees bent. You can rest your head down. I have a hair thing in. Where's a good spot? I'm going to keep my head up because I have my ponytail. And we're going to keep even pressure through the feet. So you don't want to lift your toes and only push through the heels like this, but you also don't want to do the reverse and only push through your toes. So think of even pressure over the 4 corners of each foot, if that helps. And then we lift those hips as high as you can, squeezing those glute muscles. And you can come all the way down, tap the floor, but don't fully rest. If you fully take a rest like this before each rep, you're releasing the contraction. So you're not going to get injured or anything, but it's more effective to keep the contraction at all times. So tap the floor, but then go right back up. All right. And then anyone not doing our floor exercises, I think an alternative for this would be step ups. So just something to step up. I would go from the side, but I'm going from the end just to show you. But step ups, we're still going to get those glute muscles. We're going to get some quads too, but it's a great alternative if you're unable to get to the floor. So that's an option as well. Exercise 3 for the lower body focus portion of the workout, a kneeling get up. And our longtime participants are fully aware of what this is. And it's everyone's favorite, right? So we start in a tall kneeling position like this. We're going to bring our leg into a half kneel and then stand all the way up. The same leg that led up is now going to also lead down. So that was my right leg down. And you're back to where you start. Every new rep, switch your leading leg. That's confusing to some people, so let me walk through what that looks like. So I'm going to go with my left leg here. Left leg goes up. Left leg leads down. That was 1 rep. Reset. Right leg goes up. Right leg comes down first. Reset. Next rep. Left up. Left down. I think we are getting the gist of that, right? Anyone not kneeling or going onto the floor, typically I'd have a step up be the alternative for this. However, I wanted that to be an alternative for the hip thrust. So we're going to do a wall sit. Very different, but it's more quad focused, and that is also the kneel and get up is also more quad focused. So if we are not doing floor exercises or something on the knees, lean against the wall, step your feet out, sink down until it's at a challenging level, and we're just going to hold this for the duration of the set. We're not leaning forward on the legs, so do keep your back against the wall at all times. And you can slide up when you're done, and that's going to be your alternative for the kneeling get up. So, all right, those are our 3 leg focused exercises for our in your own space portion of the workout. All right, now we're moving into our circuit. So station 1 is going to be a seesaw overhead press. We do this quite a bit. Shoulder isolation, so we're working on strengthening those shoulders. Excuse me. And the seesaw variety, it's just what I said, it's just variety. It's just a different way to do it. So we press one arm up to start. Notice my palms are turned inward, so they're turned towards one another. So we're not going palms out. Okay. As one arm goes down, the other goes up, and it's just like a seesaw. So it's simultaneous. So one arm is moving up while the other is moving down. So it does get a little bit more speed, but going fast isn't the goal. So don't purposely try to go really fast. Just make sure you're doing those simultaneous movements, and you've got it. So that's our seesaw shoulder press. Okay, next up we have an anti-rotation side step or lateral step. The anti-rotation, I'm going to go a little closer, means that we are trying not to rotate our body. So we're trying to keep very straight. Okay, like this. So already I'm feeling the band is tied up to my side here. It's already wanting to like pull me in. So already I'm having to engage my core muscles in my chest and shoulders to not allow that to happen. Don't shrug your shoulders. Keep the shoulders down, posture. And we're going to step out until it's maybe 1 or 2 steps until it's like right now, my body really wants to slingshot back in, but I'm not going to let it. And then we control those same steps back to our start position. Oddly enough, controlling the way back in, so right now, is harder than going out against the resistance because it wants to, when you start to step in, it wants to really pull you, so you have to resist that. Okay, a couple things we're not doing. We're not like letting one shoulder come up. We're not jerking the rope like this or the band. Always hands right in front of the chest. Elbows are locked in straight, so we're not doing this. I know from that angle, maybe you can't tell my elbows are bent. So we're not doing this, but the arms are straight out. Okay, they're halfway through the set. All we have to do to switch sides is spin around, and we can start doing it on the other side. So very easy to transition sides there. We'll switch halfway through. That's our anti-rotation side step. Battle rope station. So we're going to do alternating arms. Okay. One of the kind of standard movements on the rope, I think. Oh, man. Didn't line that up right at all, did I? Okay, so alternating like this. Make sure you have a nice, sturdy, athletic stance. So I'm standing in a way that if someone came and gave me a shove, I won't tip over. Good. That's a sturdy, athletic stance. So soft bend in the knees, hinge at your hips, really plant your feet, and that helps you feel nice and planted for your rope. If we are doubling up at stations, I think what we'll do is each person take one side, and we're going to do single arm. Halfway through the set, we're just going to switch arms. Okay, I think that'll be a great way. When you do single, you can kind of go faster, but you'll give both arms in the end. So that'll be a good way to work that if we have to double up at the rope, unless your gym has 2 ropes. So anyway, battle rope station number 3. All right, station number 4 is going to be the single arm farmer's carry. Now, last week we had the double arm farmer's carry, so it's the exact same thing. We're only carrying weight on one side this time, however. So weight's on the floor. So I can see myself. Maybe you want to do this in front of a mirror before you start walking, so you can check your form like I'm doing now. Because if I'm not thinking about it, I kind of want to let this side sink down. I kind of maybe want to shrug the other side to compensate, or on the flip side, I compensate with the side I'm holding because I'm trying to hold that. Anyway, we don't want any of that. We want level shoulders. So take your shoulders down and back. You're not holding anything in this arm, but we still want everything level here. Okay, so we don't want to be swayed or skewed weirdly. After that, it's the carry. Same thing we did, with the double arm. So, but we're trying to maintain a straight body position. We don't want to tilt in our torso either. So still want to have you're going to feel your obliques a lot more than the double arm, because when you have weight on one side of you, you have to kick in these oblique muscles in your side here to balance yourself out with the weight. So you're going to feel those muscles more than you did with the double arm. Go heavy. We don't want it so heavy that, again, it's pulling you down. challenge your weight. We aren't squatting with it. We aren't curling it. We aren't pressing it. We are just carrying it. We're trying to mimic real life situations in which you might have to carry something heavy. Maybe you have to pick up a spare tire and lug it across the garage, things that are heavy. So challenge yourself with the weight. It's a very safe exercise. That's our single arm farmer's carry. Oh, almost forgot. We'll switch arms halfway through. So wherever you're at the halfway point, it's pretty easy to switch sides. Keep going. So there you go. Single arm farmer's carry. Final station, we're back to a TRX for some back work this week. Now, when we had this, maybe I think 3 weeks ago, we did the overhand grip like this. You can see my wrist. Like this, right? We're going to do traditional standard neutral grip, so palms are turned in. That's a little more standard for a back row. Not right or wrong, just a little more standard. So neutral grip, palms are facing in towards one another. Okay, and I think our longtime participants, the lower you step, the harder this is because you're pulling against gravity a little bit more. So you have to pull yourself up more. We only come up so far until we're right at the end of the tension. What I mean by that is I'm not going to come up like this and let any slack go on the TRX like this. I'm going to come up and stop before that happens. So I'm always keeping this always tension on the TRX. Slow and steady. Don't allow your hips to go down and thrust up, so we're not doing any hip movement like that. Your body stays perfectly stiff as a board. Shoulders down. Don't shrug. How many tips can I throw at you all at once? A lot of little reminders there, but it's to do it properly and to do it right. Every time you pull up, try to squeeze your shoulder blades together like that behind you. And that's how we work our back. So TRX for some back rows. Alrighty, and for the team builder, we haven't done this for a while, and we also didn't have any isolated core in our routine. We had some indirect with our side steps and our farmer's carry. That's obliques. But let's get some isolated, more center abs here. We're going to do a plank off. Everyone can go wherever you'd like. We're going to 3, 2, 1 start all at the same time. But we're going to see who holds their plank the longest with good form. And as soon as if you need a break, so you need to put a knee down or something, that's the end of your plank. So keep that in mind. We'll see who holds it the longest. Traditional elbow forearm plank. So we're holding good form. We're not holding it up here. Okay. And you can definitely opt for knees for your plank. But again, good form. Hips are low. Hips are not way up here. And of course, we have our incline option. Always an option with planks. Okay. Whichever option you do, make sure your shoulder and elbow, your elbow is right underneath your shoulders. Keep that alignment. So I think we've had, I don't know, I think my mom held it for 2.5 minutes or something around there. My 75-year-old mother. So if that's motivation for anybody, something to work towards. I can't think of the highest we've had, but I'm sure all your gyms is different. So plank off. Let's see who has the highest one throughout the week. Coaches, if you want to jot maybe initials, if people don't want their full names up there or first names, write some times down and we can kind of gauge improvements within each individual person throughout the week. Maybe if you come Mondays and Thursdays, maybe Mondays you hold for 40 seconds. Thursday you can hit 45. So we're competing with ourselves as well. Okay, plank off for the team builder. Let's all cheer each other on and hold some nice long planks. All right, that wraps up week number 6. Hope you enjoy this workout. Structure is a little bit different than standard, so adding some variety for you, and I'll see you back in week number 7.